what to do when the fear is so big that you don't know how to start. Whatever it is that you have in your heart that you are ready to share with the world, there's like this significant moment that has to be met, and this step has to be taken for the creation process to really start going. If you're just stuck in the learning and the preparing and the planning, but you're not doing the thing, you're not going to get where you want to go. It is so easy to stay in this loop of all of the things that you can do before the big thing. Those are the things that feel comfortable and safe because you aren't actually putting yourself out on the line, and you're not putting yourself in a position where things could go wrong or you could be judged. So many fears that can come up in this process of putting ourselves out to the world and sharing our voice with the world. It could be fear of failure, of judgment. It could be fear of success. You could fear the responsibility and the shifts that will come in your life if you succeed at what you're trying to do. It could be fear of change because of the unknown, and you're safe and you're comfortable where you are. It doesn't matter what the fear is. The point is the fear is there. And the fear is what manifests as these different actions and steps, inactions that are preventing us from taking the step that we actually need to take, like that big thing that needs to be done to get the ball rolling. Where does the fear come from? This is the first question. Like, what is this fear? The truth is, fear is just a story. From the point we were born, and some would say, and I believe that even before we were born, whether it's in our mother's womb or past lifetimes, but let's just say from the moment that we are born, we are being imprinted. We are being fed different stories, different belief systems, different thoughts from all around us. Maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your culture or society or your peers. There's this constant influx of information that's coming in. And from the age of 1 to 7, we are like little sponges. We just take in everything that we hear. We take in everything that we see and witness and experience. So by the age of 7, we have created this subconscious identity and belief system, paradigm, whatever you want to call it, that is a conglomerate of all of the different things that we believe are true about ourselves and about the world around us. And it might not actually be true, but our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is not real. It only knows what it has been told and what it has stored in our minds as reality. So whatever it is that your story is, that is what you believe about yourself, and it is what you believe about life. It is your self-image. It is your self-concept. And these are the subconscious beliefs that are running our lives. 95% of what we do is based off of the subconscious program. 5% of what we do is based off of the conscious choices that we are making in alignment with what we want and what our desires are. That's fucking crazy. Like, you guys, that's so wild. We are completely running on our subconscious programming. You are living your life based on the lies and the misinformation that you have been told or that you have been made to believe. And I'm not saying that all of it is bad either, and it's not all a lie necessarily. You could have subconscious beliefs that are true and that are healthy and that really serve you. The problems are the subconscious limiting beliefs that are holding you back from living the life that you are worthy and capable of living. That is where the fear comes from. The fear comes from these subconscious beliefs and stories that we are telling ourselves about what we are capable of, about what we are worthy of, about what in life might harm us. Anything that feels unsafe is like a threat to our survival, even if it's not something that would actually harm us physically. Any time in life you are trying to make a change or take a step that in any way threatens that sense of survival because you could be judged or because you might fail and you might be criticized, your alarm systems in your mind are going to be blaring. That kind of inner voice is going to do anything that it can to stop you from doing that thing because it wants to protect you. And so this kind of inner voice, or some would say the inner critic, it can be easy to think of it as the enemy, but the truth is it's not the enemy, it's just trying to protect you. But we have to consciously recognize that the way that it is trying to go about protecting us might not be in alignment anymore with what is actually serving our highest truth and our highest desires. So once we recognize where the fear is coming from, then the next step is, how can we move through the fear? And it's not, in my opinion, it's not about overcoming the fear. It's not like conquering the fear. I don't think that fear in and of itself is bad. Where fear becomes a problem is when it stops us in our tracks and it stops us from moving forward and doing the thing and creating the life that we're meant to live. That's when fear becomes the problem. So how can we sit with the fear and notice it when it comes up and move through it and still do the thing? Most people are not even aware that there is a subconscious story that is running their lives. And so simply by knowing that that is the case, you have an advantage. You have the awareness and you can start to recognize when that story is popping up and when it's dictating things in your life. So start there. Start by just having the awareness. Notice when these stories are coming up, and a good way to do that is just to be aware of your feelings, be aware of your emotions. If you are doing something and you start to feel anxiety or frustration, the reason that you are feeling those emotions is because there is a gap in the vibration of what you want, which is over here, and the vibration of the subconscious stories or the belief that you have about yourself, which is over here. That gap is causing resistance, it's causing friction, and that's what causes more challenging emotions that are coming up. And so what we need to do is we need to close the gap and align the vibrations. So start with awareness. Meditation can be really powerful here. Journaling can be a really helpful process for that kind of self-reflection. But just start to really be aware of the stories that you're telling yourself. What is that inner voice saying? Does it feel true to you? Like when the thoughts come up, actually ask yourself, is that true? Where is this coming from? Where have I heard this story before? Maybe who has actually said this to me in my childhood? Or where did I hear this outside of myself? So start to ask yourself the questions. Think back to your childhood, because thinking back to your childhood is a really easy way to see where you may have picked up the programs. If you are having a hard time doing this yourself, it can be super helpful to work with someone that can assist you in this process. Do not feel like you have to do it alone. Work with a therapist. You can do inner child work or hypnotherapy or regression work with someone professional and qualified, and that can really help you to dig into these subconscious beliefs and programs that maybe you're having a harder time noticing yourself. Another really powerful way to become aware of these types of limiting beliefs is working with plant medicine. And I understand that this is not for everyone, so I'm not recommending it to everyone, but something like psilocybin, mushrooms, ayahuasca, wachuma, some of these different plant medicines are very, very, very powerful teachers when it comes to tapping into the subconscious mind and becoming aware of the beliefs that no longer serve us. Again, not for everyone, but if you have done a lot of the other practices and you're still feeling like there's something that needs to come to light or come to consciousness, then plant medicine could be something to consider. So you have noticed what needs to be shifted, and then you need to do the inner work to actually let go, to release the limiting beliefs. And this is kind of like going down the same road, right? So these practices that support you in recognizing it are the same practices that can support you in letting it go, right? The meditation, the journaling, visualization, inner child work. This isn't really the video for us to like go super in depth with that. I think it's more about finding what works for you. But at the end of the day, the point is it's doing the inner work. And more than anything, it is choosing, consciously choosing and deciding that you are ready to let that go. So make the choice. You are not living that reality anymore. You're shifting into a new reality, and you're not going to let anything stop you. You're not going to let anything hold you back. You're done with the excuses. When the desire becomes stronger than the excuses, that is when you will actually change. So that's what we need. We need the desire to live your truth, to embody your highest self, to outweigh the fear, to outweigh the excuses. Excuses will always be there. I cannot tell you how many times I have made the excuses myself, or I've heard the excuses of, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the resources, I don't know enough. At the end of the day, there is only one thing that matters when it comes to moving through the fear and doing the thing that you want to do. Do you really want it? And are you willing to do what it takes? That's it. Like, that is the only thing that matters. The how doesn't matter. The details don't matter. If you want it badly enough, you will find a way to do it. Everyone in the world who has accomplished massively great things had obstacles to overcome. They had fear to move through. But what they had in common is that they believed in what they wanted to create. They believed in the message that they wanted to share with the world, the creation that they had. They believed in it more than they believed in the excuses. So believe in yourself. Believe you are worthy. Believe you are capable, because you are. And at the end of the day, your only limits are the ones that you put on yourself. They are these self-imposed, self-created limiting beliefs. That's it. That is the only thing holding you back. And that can be frustrating for some people. It can be like, I don't want to hear that it's me that's limiting myself. But this is actually extremely empowering, because if you are the only thing holding you back, then you are the only thing that needs to change to get exactly what you want. So it actually puts all of the power back in your court. Like, you are capable of anything. You just have to decide. You just have to change your mind. Change your mind, change your life. Change your beliefs, change your life. The next step is to actually decide who you want to be. If you have not been living the life that you want to live, if you have not been putting out the expression of yourself that you want to share with the world, it was because of the subconscious mind. We need to let go of that old story, and we need to create a new version of ourself, a new self-image. We need to create a new paradigm. So you have to ask yourself here, who do you want to be? This highest version of yourself that is living the life of your dreams, that has the partner, that has the relationships and the career, and is doing the things that you love. Like, who is that person? What do you eat? What do you drink? What kind of movement do you do every day? How long do you work every day? What kind of work do you do? Who are you spending time with? What is your evening routine? Get as specific as possible to really deeply understand exactly who that person is. Because once you understand who that person is that you want to be, become, embody, then you can start to literally embody that person. Some people are going to say here, that's not possible. I can't live that life because I don't have the money. I don't have the car that I want, so how can I be that person driving around in that car? Or like, I don't have that job. I'm in this shitty job that I really don't like. How am I supposed to feel like that person who has my dream job when I'm over here doing the same thing day after day? Like, how am I supposed to be that person? It's not about doing exactly what they're doing in every single aspect. It's about doing as much as you can, doing what you're capable of doing in this moment that is in alignment with that person that you want to be. That's the first thing. And the second thing is to feel the way that that person would feel, to embody the emotion, okay? Emotion is going to be one of the most powerful things that you can get a grasp on in order to truly embody this highest version of yourself. If you can get into the energy and become a vibrational match to that person that you want to be, you're closing the gap that we talked about before. You might not have the car, you might not have the job yet. Yet, that's the key word, okay? However, there is a reality where you do. So this isn't about pretending, it's not about being fake, because that reality exists. Like if you can dream it, if you can bring it into your desires, then it is available to you. Any desire that you have within your heart is a possibility that is waiting to be expressed through you. Like the universe would not have given you this idea if it was not wanting and available for you to create it. You just have to decide. So start to align with the feelings and the emotions and the vibration of this highest version of yourself. Visualization is an amazing way to do this. If you can spend some time visualizing in detail the life that you want to live, the person that you want to be, doing the things that you need to do to get to that point, because visualizing the action steps also takes away some of the resistance. It takes away some of the fear. So visualize the action steps being easy, being fun. Visualize in as much detail as you can to the point that you are feeling like you're there now. That's the thing, is we need to be there now and embody that feeling in this moment. The subconscious does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. You visualizing that, your subconscious mind doesn't know that this is a visualization. And so you're telling your subconscious mind that this is possible, that this is your reality, this is what you're creating, and that is going to move you closer and closer to that truth. The next step is to actually take action. You can meditate and visualize and journal all day long, but if you do not then take the steps, like actually play your part in co-creating and show the universe that you are willing to do what it takes, you're only going to get so far. You might have a really nice morning practice. It might feel really good. Visualization might make you really happy, but you're only going to get so far if you aren't willing to do what you need to do. All of this is just to say, embody who you want to become, feel the vibration of the person that you want to be, and then take the steps to actually get there, right? And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It doesn't have to be anything huge. Start with baby steps. Small, sustainable steps are oftentimes actually a lot more powerful and impactful than trying to do something crazy and ginormous all at once that feels overwhelming. Decide on just a couple things that you can start to implement, that you can start to do every day, that you can do this week, this month, to get you that much closer to your goals. The thing about action that is also so amazing is action is one of the most powerful ways to move through the fear. It's not about not being afraid. It's about allowing fear to sit in the passenger seat while you drive the car and saying, I see you, I hear you, thank you, because I know you're trying to protect me, but that no longer serves me. I'm going to do it anyway. And every single time you do it, the fear will dissipate just a little bit more. So you take another step, a little less fear, another step, a little less fear, but you have to take the steps. And then finally, let go of your attachment to things being a certain way. And you might be like, what the fuck? Like, why would I do all this work if it's not going to be what I want? But the reason that I say this is when we become overly attached to what we want, and we have this idea in our minds of like, it has to look this certain way, the attachment is actually going to create resistance. When you show the universe that you are desperate for something, it has to happen or you won't be happy, that is essentially saying to the universe, number one, you're not happy where you are right now, which we have to, again, like embody the vibration, embody the gratitude in the moment so that we can be a vibrational match for it. But it's also separating you from the thing that you want. Like attracts like. If you are affirming that you do not have it, you will continue to attract the same thing. If instead you use every opportunity to be grateful for what you have, to appreciate the things in life that are already good, and to visualize what is coming, what is on its way in this dream life that you are ready to create, and you're in this energy of receptivity and appreciation and abundance and love and worthiness, then it is going to come to you so much faster because you're just melting away the resistance. The resistance is no longer there. And keep in mind as well that the universe often has much bigger plans for us than we could ever possibly imagine for ourselves. So if you are so set on your dream life or your desires being one specific thing or looking one specific way, you're really limiting yourself and cutting yourself off from potentially much grander possibilities that the universe actually has in store for you. I'm not saying to not have a very clear idea of what you want. Absolutely, we want to have that clear vision, but it is this or something better. I am calling in this highest version of myself or something better. And then trust that the universe will deliver in the way that it is meant to be delivered. It could be exactly what you want and exactly what you're calling in, or it could be wildly different and so much better than you could have ever imagined. So let go of this attachment. Be patient. Don't rush the universe. Trust that it is on its way. And it all comes back to belief. Affirm to yourself, believe that you are worthy of it. Believe that it is possible. Believe that it is on its way to you right now. And the rest is just allowing it to fall into place, knowing that it's on its way. That's it. It's not as hard as we think it is. The biggest piece is just getting out of our own way. That's the biggest thing. Get out of your own way. Believe that you're worthy. Believe that it's coming to you. It's here. It's here right now. It's just stepping into alignment with it and then knowing and trusting that the universe will present it to you when the time is right. One last thing I want to say. It might seem like we have to be positive all the time, right? Because we're trying to embody this really high vibrational state and be a match for what we desire. So like, oh God, I can't think any negative thoughts. Like I can't get sad or I can't get frustrated or else I'm falling out of alignment. But that's not true. And we're human. So this is not in any way telling you that you have to be happy and high vibe every second of every day, because that's not reality. The thing about negative emotions, think of them as like an assistant that is helping you to notice when you are out of alignment with what you actually want. So they're actually helping you. So when you notice yourself feeling sad or frustrated, whatever emotion it is, notice where you're at in that moment. Notice what's going on and what are the stories that you're telling yourself, or what are you doing, or who are you spending your time with that might be not in alignment with this highest version of yourself. So it's like giving you a little poke. It's like, hey, over here, maybe you're not exactly in the right space right now. Maybe you're not surrounded by the right people. Maybe you are not doing the thing that most serves you. And now that you're aware of it, make the change, make the shift. We don't need to judge. We don't need to shame ourselves. Just notice when it's happening and decide to pivot and shift into what will actually serve you. And if you need to get outside and take a walk, be in nature, dance, sing, whatever it takes for you to shift that energy and come back into that more aligned emotion, do it. But do it without judgment and do it without, feeling like you fell off track, because we're always going to have those moments. And it's just the universe allowing us to recognize where we can pivot, where we can change to come back into alignment with our truth. I love you guys. I am so grateful for you. If you watched all the way to the end of this video, thank you. And let me know in the comments how this shows up for you. Let me know where in your life you are feeling the fear. Where in your life are you feeling the resistance or these old programs and stories coming up? And what is the decision? What is the choice you are making right now, today, to shift and be more in alignment with your truth and your highest self? If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. Sending you all the love and appreciation. Have an absolutely amazing rest of your day. See you guys next time.